"We're moving you to a special ward," they said, their voices smooth as silk, but hiding something sharper underneath. But it wasn't special. It was hidden, a forgotten corner where complaints went to die, and my recorder was still running, capturing every whispered secret they thought was safe. My name is June, and at 80 years old, I've seen enough of life to know when something doesn't add up. I was a literature teacher for over 40 years, shaping young minds with stories of heroes and villains, truth and deception. Words have always been my weapon, my comfort. That's why I carry a small voice recorder everywhere, tucked in my pocket like an old friend. I use it to jot down ideas for poems or reminders for my scattered thoughts. But it's also my way of holding on to the world when age tries to loosen my grip. I've been at Maplewood Nursing Home for the past year, ever since a stroke left my left side a bit weaker, needing help with the daily routines. It's not a bad place on the surface. Bright hallways, scheduled meals, and nurses who smile when families are watching. I'm gentle by nature, the type who prefers a kind word over conflict, but I've never been one to swallow injustice. When something's wrong, I speak up, or in this case, let the recorder do the talking for me. New Year's has always been my quiet celebration, a time to reflect on the chapters closed and the ones yet to write. Last year, I spent it with a video call to my family, toasting to fresh starts. But this year, that reflection was shattered. One unfair act layering on another until the weight became unbearable. It started innocently, or so it seemed. A nurse named Rita approaching me after lunch one day in late December. "Mrs. June," she said, her tone overly sweet. "We're moving you to a special ward. It'll be quieter, better for your recovery, more personalized care." Personalized? I'd been doing fine in my regular room, chatting with neighbors during bingo, watching the birds from my window. But I didn't argue. I'm not one to make a fuss without reason. They wheeled me down a back hallway I'd never noticed before, past storage closets and maintenance doors, to a wing that felt off. The lights were dimmer, the air stale, like it hadn't been aired out in weeks. My new room was more like a cubicle. Bare walls, a thin curtain for privacy, shared with 3 others who looked as confused as I felt. "Welcome to the quiet ward," an aide muttered, helping me settle. Quiet? It was isolated, cut off from the main building's bustle. No common room here, no visitors wandering by. Meals arrived cold, meds delayed. I waited hours for help to the bathroom one night, calling out to empty air. The residents around me, Mr. Ellis with his Parkinson's tremors, Mrs. Fay, who whispered about her grandchildren, were left to fend for ourselves, abandoned in this hidden pocket. Whispers started soon after. During a rare group time, Mr. Ellis leaned close, his voice low. "They put us here so no one sees us. The complainers, the ones who ask too many questions. Families don't visit this wing. They don't even know it exists." His words chilled me. I'd mentioned the drafty windows in my old room once, asked for extra blankets. Was that why? The injustices mounted, the deceptive special label, the warehouse-like conditions, the neglect, hours without checks, meds forgotten, loneliness amplified. It wasn't care, it was concealment, sweeping the troublesome under the rug before the new year, when inspections or family visits might spike. The turning point came during the move itself, though I didn't realize it until later. As they transferred my belongings, Rita and another nurse chatted outside my curtain, thinking I was napping. "Good thing she doesn't know we're short-staffed," Rita said, her voice muffled but clear. "Families complain about everything, drafts, food, you name it. Keep her here in the hidden ward so they won't see during holiday visits. Problem solved." The other laughed. "Yeah, tuck away the whiners. No one checks this area." My heart raced. I wasn't asleep, and my recorder, forgotten in my sweater pocket from earlier that day when I dictated a letter to my grandson, was still running. Every word, captured crisp and damning. They'd revealed their game, not care, but cover-up. Illegal isolation to silence us. I stayed still, letting the tape roll, whispering to myself later, "You think you can hide us? The truth is already out." Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet recording played at the right moment. That night, in the dim ward, I listened back, my hands shaking, but my resolve steel. The audio was gold. Names, dates, admissions of short staffing and deliberate hiding. I slipped the recorder into an envelope, addressing it to my grandson,
Alex. He's a 28-year-old investigative reporter for a local news station, always chasing stories of corruption and neglect. I'd taught him to question,
to seek truth. Now, it was his turn. Using the ward's emergency phone, they couldn't block that. I called Alex briefly. "Check your mail, dear. Urgent." The package arrived 2 days later. He listened, outraged. "Grandma, this is a hidden ward. Illegal under state regs. Abuse through segregation. I'm on it." He digitized the audio, anonymized voices slightly for protection, and sent it to the state's Elder Care Oversight Board, CCing his editor. "Evidence of resident isolation and neglect at Maplewood," the email read. Attachments, the recording, my statement, photos I'd snapped of the ward's conditions on my old phone. The board acted fast. Holiday scandals make headlines. Alex pitched the story. Hidden wards in nursing homes, silencing the elderly before New Year? The consequences crashed down like a January storm, cold and unrelenting. 3 days before New Year's, inspectors arrived unannounced, boots echoing down the main hall, then discovering the back wing. "What's this area?" the lead demanded. Rita stammered, "Storage. Overflow." But residents spoke up. Mr. Ellis recounting neglect, Mrs. Fay showing delayed medlogs. The recording, played on site, sealed it. Admissions of intent. This violates multiple codes, the inspector barked. The hidden ward was shut immediately. Doors sealed, residents transferred back to standard rooms with apologies and extra amenities. Staff involved, Rita and 2 others, were suspended pending investigation. The home's license teetered, fines loomed. Alex's story aired New Year's Eve. Exposed, nursing home's secret ward for troublesome seniors. Viewers called in furious. Donations poured for elder rights groups. In the aftermath, as fireworks lit the sky outside my reclaimed window, Mr. Ellis grasped my hand in the common room. "You saved us all, June. We were invisible until you." I smiled, the recorder safe in my pocket. "They hid us away, but truth finds its way out. Always." But let me take you deeper into how this shadow fell over us, because the details weave the full tale of deception and deliverance. That special ward pitch? Rita's sweetness masked urgency. New Year's meant family scrutiny, potential complaints about understaffing. The move was rushed, belongings dumped haphazardly, no explanation beyond better care. But the ward? A repurposed storage area, beds crammed, no call buttons working half the time, hours abandoned. I timed it once, 4 hours without a check, voices echoing unanswered. Mr. Ellis's whisper wasn't paranoia. He'd overheard similar before being moved. "No one sees us." Families directed to main areas, told we were resting. Isolation bred despair. Mrs. Fay stopped eating, murmuring about forgotten grandkids. The overheard conversation? Fate. My recorder started for a poem idea, captured gold. Short-staffed, admitting violations. Hidden ward. The smoking gun. Sending to Alex? Calculated. He'd exposed similar scandals. His network amplified. The board's response? Swift. Audio irrefutable. Inspector's arrival? Chaos. Rita's panic, trying to shuffle us, foiled. Ward closure immediate. We returned to light, warmth. Suspensions, satisfying. Stories impact, viral. Shares, op-eds on elder abuse. Home reformed, staffing boosted, transparency mandated. Ellis's words, profound. We rang in the new year together, calls connected, stories shared. I wasn't the victim. I was the narrator, turning hidden horror into exposed truth. Hiding thrives in silence, but recordings shatter it. If secluded, speak or record. Truth emerges, louder than locks. Here's to visibility, unhidden and unbound.